On the 29th of April, the New Westminster Chamber of Commerce will be hosting their, we call it the Platinum Awards Dinner, which has been going on for many, many years, honoring the fine people in New Westminster that do various things to keep the city alive and to keep it vibrant and keep it exciting. And my guest right now is the chairman of the Platinum Awards, Rnold Smith, who is the CEO of the New Westminster Chamber of Commerce. Welcome. Good to have you here.
Thanks, Peter. It's great to be here as always, and such a great honor to speak with you again.
Do you know from your experience how these Platinum Awards came to be?
Well, I think it's important for a community to honor the people who are doing great work, that to make a community a nice place to live. And I think that was really the impetus for the Platinum Awards. It's great to have regional awards or provincial awards, but I think that when you as a community can find your rock stars, if you will, the ones who are really doing the actions that are supporting the bigger community as a whole, I think that makes a big difference. And one of the things I love about the Platinum Awards is it isn't just about business success. It's really about how businesses are contributing to the success of the community as a whole, honoring people who are, champions of wellness for their staff in the community is one of the awards we're giving this year. Diversity and inclusion, also an incredibly important in this day and age. And sustainability, businesses who have made a commitment to be more green and to help our earth. So businesses have a huge impact on our community success as a whole. And I think that when you can give recognition to businesses and individuals who are doing those things, then you inspire others to take action. I think that's what I love most about these awards, and also why they were created.
I've had the opportunity in years gone by of speaking at the dinner at that. I know you can't do a dinner this year. I understand.
Yeah, that's right.
So after I've spoken, they start giving the awards away to the recipients. Many of them are almost moved to tears and are very emotional about this recognition that they are being given by the city that they want to work in and love and care, and they care for the Chamber of Commerce. So it meets those kinds of needs. And when people are that moved, then you know it's successful.
I think that people are really passionate about these awards in the city. And I think it's really, it's hopefully what the result is again, that these stories really inspire others. And that was my commitment this year. Obviously, we can't meet in person, which is a big challenge. We love the pomp and circumstance of getting all dressed up and having a fancy dinner, having the award show, but we don't have that this year. So what I really wanted to do was focus on making sure we could tell their stories. And so every nominee finalist got a video made of their success, of what they accomplished. And then that we're promoting those videos as part, and having a public voting process, which is going on now, as part of this. And I think that giving them that recognition, I think, is really such a great piece. And then there's a virtual awards gala where we get to see who the winner is and hear from them. And you say that moment of, some people have worked for years to have this come to fruition, and that recognition, I think it can make a really profound difference to a person's life.
Well, it's I know it's emotional even for guys that get these awards, because they've done it for many years without getting any recognition. Not that they've done it for the recognition, but when they're nominated for what they've particularly done for the city, it becomes really emotional. And as that night goes on and it gets to their particular category, they're quite emotional about it. So it's working for sure.
Absolutely. And I think the other award, which of course you've been involved with, is the Bernie Legge Cultural Award. And I think that one is it's so great because ultimately there is a very important link between cultural success in a community and business success. I mean, culture and arts contribute so much to the economic well-being of a community. And when individuals, especially from the business community, really make a difference in that area, I think it's just, it makes our community so much stronger. And so I just thank you for being a sponsor of that award this year and in previous years as well.
Well, it's my father decided after World War II that there was really no future for him and my mother and their young son in England. and they needed to emigrate from Great Britain somewhere, and they picked Canada. And he got assisted passage, and they wanted, first of all, to go to Winnipeg. And he said, no, I don't want to go to Winnipeg. I want to go to Vancouver, because
Smart choice.
he was in the Merchant Marines, and he sailed on the city of Vancouver ship many times that came to this port. That's how we picked Vancouver. And so he left a year ahead of time, got off in Halifax, and got a cheap back of the bus or back of the train ticket, and came across to Winnipeg. And he had to spend overnight in Winnipeg because that's where he was technically going to stay. And then he took a Greyhound bus or whatever it was in those days to New Westminster. He thought he was going to Vancouver, but they kicked him off in New Westminster and said, this is where you're going to stay. He had nowhere to stay. He didn't know where New Westminster is or how he got there. So he stayed in the YMCA, which in those days was on Royal Avenue opposite the City Hall. And for a year, he picked blueberries. He did all kinds of things. Washed dishes at restaurants on Kingsway, and he couldn't get anything solid that he wanted to put his life into. And so he decided Canada and was not the place for him. And so he wrote my mother and said, I'm coming back home. And so then he heard about a job in Kitimat, that he would be there for 6 months to get enough money to come home. Okay. Someone said to him, what you need to do, Bernie, is serve the community. Give back to the community more than you take out of the community. And that triggered something in his mind. And on the day that he was going to go to Kitimat, he got offered a job at Gilly Brothers, which used to be right on the waterfront in New Westminster. And he was an inside sales rep selling building supplies. He knew nothing about building supplies, but he did have a pretty magnetic personality. And as he moved into the community, he'd ask, and the community then was only New Westminster, he asked them, what do you think is the best way to be successful in what I'm trying to do? And to a person, they said, in their own way, they said, serve the community. Find a way to give back to the community more than you take out of the community, and the community will reward you in, not financially, but they will reward you. That's what he decided to do. So he worked on Columbia Street for Gilly Brothers, which was a family name, a family business from New Westminster. And he did exactly that. And I don't think there is very many community events in New Westminster that my father did not participate in. And he always said to me, that is what is making me be attractive to people who want to do business with me. And he was selling concrete and supplies in those days. And so he taught that to me. And he said, if you want to make it in a city, you want to make it into a country, then you've got to serve those people who need your help the best. That's how he started.
I think that is a perfect insight to business success. I mean, it's so easy to focus on what you need to do and think, I need to focus on my own success. But when you focus on the success of others, then there's a lot of reciprocation that happens. And I think that's one of the things that happens with these awards. We get to recognize those individuals who are really contributing to the success of the community. And I think that's one of the ways that, we get to give back to them. And by giving them that recognition, hopefully they can also get more business success. And that's many of the past award recipients have created a lot of business success because of that. And so we're really proud of that as an organization that we've helped facilitate that. So I love that story about your dad, because I think it's so true. It's such an inspiration to an individual. And even as you were saying that, I thought, I'm hoping that there's that payoff from all the work that I do to help support the community. So I'm glad that that's happening.
And there probably is, and you haven't even seen it.
Yeah.
You don't recognize where it's coming from.
Of course there is.
Zig Ziglar said this. He said, you can have everything you want in life if you help enough other people get what they want in life. And I think that's what my dad tried to do. Only in New Westminster. He did not Vancouver, not Surrey, not Vancouver Island, nowhere, just New Westminster. That was where his attraction was. And when he died, he had the funeral at Queens Avenue United Church. Over 1,000 people came to say, thank you, Bernie, for what you've done for this city. And we had to have the reception at the Armories right across the street from that church. And people came up to me that I'd never met. They said, what your dad did for this city, the Royal City, was incredible. And so my encouragement is for you and these awards on the 29th of this month, that those people that are serving the city and serving their particular niche in that city will pay off benefits for them long term.
I love it. Well, Peter, thanks for taking the time to have this conversation with me today. I think that has been, I love that insight. Ultimately, I think if that's what this award show leaves people with and what this video leaves people with, is that when you give back to your community, the repayment is tenfold. I think that I love that message.
Yeah, and that's true in any community, right across anywhere in the world. If you serve those people that are looking to you for leadership, because everyone is looking for leadership, and you serve them in a genuine way, as my dad did, and as you do, and as many people in New Westminster do, and all the people are getting these awards next week. That's what they're getting them for, because they've given of themselves unselfishly to the city of New Westminster.
Well, thanks, Peter. And if you want to hear some of their inspiring stories, they're hosted at newwest.tv, or you can go to the New West Chamber website, newwestchamber.com. You can get the link and see the stories, and also vote for the ones that you think are deserving of the award. I think that if you go and watch some of the videos, you will be inspired and get some ideas about what you can do in your own business.
Yeah, great. Thank you. And you keep up the good work, my friend.
Thanks, Peter.